Hello friends, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about some more of my anticipated releases for this year. I did a few videos at the beginning of this year, and now since we're about to be into the summer months, I figured I would, look at some more books that I am anticipating for some months that are about to happen. I don't know why that sounded weird, but most of these I feel like are in August, September, and October. I believe the majority of the release dates are in those months, so not super far away, but also not extremely close. But I just want to talk about some more releases that I'm excited about. The majority of these books are horror and thriller. I have 12 books to talk about, and I'm very excited about every single one. So yeah, I guess let's just get into them and talk about some anticipated releases. Okay, the first book up is Mother Thing by Ainsley Hogarth. I think that's correct. And the release date is for October 4th of 2022. This one sounds very interesting. The cover is absolutely adorable. I like the comic book sort of art style as well. And this is a like a dark comedy, I would say, like horror novel, a dark comedy horror. And from what I gather, this is about this woman and her husband who move in with the mother-in-law, her husband's mother. And she does not have a good relationship with her mother-in-law. They're not very close. And because of something that happened in her past, she really wants to have a good relationship with her mother-in-law. And she thinks this will be the best, way to do so, since they're going to be living together. And since her and her husband do want to become parents, she thinks that this is like a good starting point. But the mother-in-law does not really care about having a good relationship with her daughter-in-law. She doesn't like her. She's very mean. She's very cruel. She's very nasty towards her. And the mother-in-law ends up taking her own life and committing suicide. And when that happens, she ends up haunting her son and daughter-in-law. She ends up haunting them. And so of course she has to come up with a plan to stop her mother-in-law from haunting her and her husband and to leave them alone, just to get her away from them. And she comes up with a plan. I don't know what kind of plan. I don't know what it entails. I don't know, but it sounds very silly, but also kind of I feel like some people will be able to relate to that because mother-in-laws are very interesting, right? Not everyone has a great relationship with their mother-in-law, and so I feel like some people will be able to laugh and kind of connect to the main character about their mother-in-law troubles. So I feel like this will be a very funny story. And it has a haunting involved, and I don't know. It just sounds like something I'll really enjoy. I think it sounds really cool. I love the cover. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, so I'm very excited for this one. Next up, we have Mina and the Slayers by Amy McCaw. This is the second book. The first book was Mina and the Undead. I loved Mina and the Undead. It's very cute. It's a YA horror thriller. It has to do with vampires. It has a lot of vampire lore in it. It takes place in New Orleans. It was a lot of fun. There's even a romance kind of situation happening in there. And this is the second book. The cover looks so freaking cool. Look at it. Look at how spooky and just like, it looks so cool. And this is going to be perfect for Halloween. It's coming out in September 1st. This is going to have to do with Halloween, and I am very excited. And it's taking place in the 90s, 1995. And basically it's taking place 3 months after what happened in the first book. I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to give anything away, but it says for Halloween, Mina and her friends have planned a spooky week of gothic restaurants, horror movies, ghostly tours, creepy carnivals, and a costume ball. Apparently things are going to get in the way of their fun, and the police are investigating a savage masked killer and a rise of suspicious animal attacks. I think we all know that it's not an animal. It's gonna be a vampire. And so then during Mina's own investigation, she discovers a group of slayers who are battling to control the rogue vampires. Interesting. I think this sounds really good. I think it sounds a lot of fun. Like I said, I really enjoyed the first book, Mina and the Undead. I thought it was just so much fun. I don't typically like vampire books. I'm not a big vampire kind of person, but I really like the way that Amy did Mina and the Undead. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it was just, it was a lot of fun. It had that like 90s nostalgic vibe that I love so much, and there's just a lot of like horror movie references involved, and it was a lot of fun. It was a great time. So I'm very much looking forward to Mina and the Slayers. I think this is gonna be just as fun. It's gonna happen during Halloween. Come on, it's gonna be the best spooky, fun little 90s read, and I'm just so freaking excited. Next up is a book that I feel like doesn't really fit in the horror or thriller category. It's more of a romance, maybe a mystery, maybe a little bit of a thriller, but I want to include it because I think a lot of people will really enjoy it, especially if you like romance. This just sounds like it's going to be a really fun take on a romance book. It's called Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. This one comes out in August, but this one sounds like it's a lot of fun. So basically, this is about the main character who's obsessed with true crime. And she's even doing her dissertation. She's a PhD student, and she's spending the summer in Florida cleaning out her childhood home, and she ends up thinking that her new neighbor is a serial killer. She thinks that she thinks he's a serial killer and hiding a secret, but it may be that he's just a genuinely nice guy, and they might, you know, have a little bit of a romance. But I think it's funny, the addition of serial killers, mainly because I would definitely be someone who would suspect my neighbor as a serial killer, for sure. Because I watched way too much true crime, and I definitely am suspicious of everyone that I know and don't know. So, yeah, I think this is going to be kind of just really cute and funny, and I think a lot of true crime lovers will probably really enjoy it. I think it's going to have like a good balance of like true crime and laughter and romance involved. So yeah, I just think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I really like the cover as well. Very much gives like comic book vibes again. They're coming back with that, like a comic book cartoon vibe, right? I don't know, I like it a lot. I think it looks really cute. I think it sounds really cute. I'm very interested in it. Next up, we have a new Ronald Malfi book. This is Black Mouth by Ronald Malfi, obviously, and this is coming out in July, so actually a little bit earlier than I was thinking. Like I said, I thought these were mostly August through October, but I guess July sneaked its way in. Maybe there's a few more and I didn't pay attention. This one sounds like it's gonna be very similar to It by Stephen King. It's about the main character who had a traumatic childhood, and he's having this guilt from disappearing from his disabled brother's life. And then a series of unusual events reunites him with his estranged brother and their childhood friends. And, you know, they can't deny that this seems like something has drawn them back together. They can't deny the memories of that summer so long ago, the strange magic taught to them by an even stranger man, and the terrible act that has followed them all into adulthood. In the light of new danger, they must confront their past by facing their futures and hunting down a man who may very well be a monster. Kind of very vague, I'm not really sure, but, it sounds interesting, and I'm very interested in reading more Ronald Malfi. Like I said, Come With Me was such a good book, and so I like the cover of this one. I think it sounds interesting, and I'll probably be picking it up. Next up, we have a Darcy. I know everyone was very I think people thought I forgot about this one. I was just wanting to put this in a video much closer to its release date, so that's why I didn't include it when I included From Below in my anticipated releases video. I feel like a lot of people thought I was like leaving it out. I promise you I wouldn't leave a Darcy out. But this is Gallows Hill. It's coming out September 6th. This one, I really like the cover. I think it looks really pretty. And it sounds like it's going to be a good standard haunted house by Darcy. We're gonna get a classic Darcy, which I'm very excited about. But this is about the Hull family, who has owned the Gallows Hill winery for generations. And then the night Mr. and Mrs. Hull settle down for the evening, they are dead by morning. Their daughter Margot inherits the family business and she wants nothing to do with it. The winery is valued for its unparalleled produce, but it's built on a field where hundreds of convicts were once hanged. And the locals whisper about rumors, obviously. They say the ground is cursed. Makes sense, sounds about right. And it's been more than a decade since Margot last saw her childhood home. But now that she's alone in the sprawling, dilapidated building, she begins to believe the curse is more than real, and that she may be the next victim of the house that never rests. I really like that it's a winery. I think that's kind of interesting. I don't know, this one just sounds interesting. I love Darcy. I will read anything she puts out, so this is just an automatic read, an automatic buy for me personally, just because I'm a Darcy fan. I love Darcy, and so yeah, I'm very excited for this one. Next up, we have a new Tiffany D. Jackson, which if you've been watching my videos for the last few months, she's now a auto-buy author for me. I absolutely love her writing and her stories, and I'm obsessed with everything she comes out with. And this one I am very excited about. This is The Weight of Blood. It's coming out September 6th, and this is going to be like a revamped Carrie. And Carrie is one of my favorite Stephen Kings of all time. I love Carrie. Carrie is probably one that I've seen the most, and I've read it too, but I've seen it more than I've read it. And so I'm just really excited for this one. The cover is absolutely beautiful. Very much Carrie vibes, obviously. I'm very excited. Oh god, okay. The main character, Madison, is an outcast in her small town Georgia high school. She deals with a lot of bullying from her classmates, and she kind of just deals with it because she has a lot more going on than just the bullying. However, because of a rainstorm, I'm very interested what that means, but it is revealed that this secret she's been keeping, that she is biracial, and she's been passing for white her entire life because of her fanatical white father. Then this video goes viral of the bullying happening, and it kind of shines a light on the racist issues of this school. So to try to cover things up and make it look better than it is, they decide to host their school's first integrated prom as a show of unity. Sounds great. And then the popular white class president convinces her black superstar quarterback boyfriend to ask Maddie to be his date. And of course, some things are gonna go wrong, obviously. We know Carrie, we know what happens. Her classmates aren't done with her, obviously. This isn't the end of their bullying, of course not. But what they don't know is that Maddie still has another secret, and one that will cost them all their lives. I don't know about you, but this sounds incredible. I'm dying for this. Like, I am absolutely dying. September cannot come fast enough. This sounds amazing. I love Carrie so much, and I can't wait to see what Tiffany D. Jackson does with this story. I think it's gonna be a knockout. A knockout. A knockout. So next up we have Ghost Eaters by Clay McLeod Chapman. This is coming out September 20th. And I really enjoyed his other book, Whisper Down the Lane. I did a book review Friday on it. It was a satanic panic book. Really, really enjoyed it. I love the cover of this book. It is absolutely beautiful. I would buy it just solely off the cover, which isn't surprising if you know me. Another thing that I really like about this book, the main character's name is Aaron. Look, I'm not saying that that would make me buy the book, but I kind of love when characters have my name. I don't know, it's just fun for me. So this book is about Aaron, who's been having this off again, on again relationship with this guy named Silas. And he texts her to ask her to get him out of rehab. She takes this as a sign of that it's time to cut him off and that they're not kind of meant to be. But then he turns up dead from an overdose, and Aaron kind of obviously has a hard time with this. And she learns that he discovered a drug that allowed him to see the dead. And she doesn't really believe it, but she kind of gets, you know, roped into trying a pill-popping seance to ease her guilt about what happened with Silas. And when she comes back from this, she starts seeing ghosts from her southern hometown's bloody and brutal past everywhere. And so she doesn't know if it has something to do with the drugs or if it's something, you know, more sinister. And yeah, that she's gonna have to deal with whatever happens with that. So I think that's a very interesting kind of plot. It's very unique. It's not something I've really heard of. It sounds very different, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I think it could be really interesting, and I want to see what it's about. I want to see what it's like. I want to see how it's gonna go. I'm very interested. Next up is Curse of the Reaper by Brian McGauley. I don't know how to say that. I hope that's correct. And it's coming out October 4th. This one sounds very cool. It's supposed to be Scream meets The Shining. I really like anything that says it's similar to Scream because I love Scream. It's one of my favorite franchises of all time. So I think this could be fun. And basically this is about this guy, Howard, who played the titular killer in an 80s horror franchise, Night of the Reaper. And he's kind of not had anything else, and he's just now signing autographs for his dwindling fan base at conventions who are fans of the series, but he's not really doing anything now. This studio announces that they're doing a reboot, but he is not going to be casted as his role of the killer. And they're giving it to a former child sitcom star who's just come out of rehab, and he's obviously wanting to stay sober and, you know, get his career back on track. But Howard is upset by this because he wants to play his character. He's been doing it for decades. He wants to stay doing it. He doesn't think that they should recast. And so he starts trying to reclaim his legacy, but the sinister alter ego consumes his unraveling mind, pushing him to the brink of violence. Is the method actor succumbing to madness, or has the devilish Reaper taken on a life of its own? Sounds very interesting. Sounds like it's going to be a very fun, nostalgic slasher, which, you know, I love. I love a good slasher. I think this could be a lot of fun. I don't know much about it. Like, there's nothing. I haven't heard much about it at all. I just randomly found it. So I am hoping it actually does come out in October when it's planning to. I hope that it stays, you know, that stays correct. Because this sounds like a lot of fun and I think I would really like it. So I can't wait to check that out. The next book is Jackal by Aaron E. Adams. Again, another Aaron. I just feel connected to other Aarons. But this cover, it's stunning. Absolutely beautiful. When I first saw it, breathtaking. Breathtaking. I saw it and I was like, oh. I want it. Absolutely, I want it. So this book is about the main character, Liz. She is a black woman and she doesn't have fond memories of her Pennsylvania predominantly white town, but her best friend is getting married. She decides that she can handle it and she really wants to go to her best friend's wedding, of course, so she decides that she'll be able to deal with whatever happens. But on the day of the wedding, the bride's daughter actually goes missing. So a frantic search kind of ensues and the police start looking for her. But Liz notices a pattern. She's seen this before and it happened when Keisha, the only other black girl in school, walked into the woods with a mysterious man and was later found with her chest cavity ripped open and her heart missing. So Liz starts to dig through the town's history and she uncovers this secret that children have been going missing in these woods for years and all of them have been black and all of them girls. One sounds terrifying, which I'm very excited about, but I think this could be really good. One, I mean, the cover, I already said it, is stunning, but with a plot like that, I feel like that kind of plot will be able to live up to the beauty of the cover, and that's what I always look for. I just have really good vibes from this one. I think this one could be really good. I'm very excited about this one. I'm excited about all these books, but this one, it does something to my heart. I can feel like this could be a 5-star, right? Like when I hear it and when I look at it, I'm like, that has 5-star potential. For sure. 5-star potential. Absolutely. Next up, we have Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison, which is coming out in October 4th. There's no cover available. Unfortunately, we haven't seen the cover for this yet, but I'm just too excited about it that I'm including it anyways. We all know that I really enjoy Rachel Harrison's books. I liked The Return a lot and Cackle was one of my favorite books of 2021, so I have very high hopes for this one. I think I'm going to enjoy it a lot. Honestly, I'm just gonna buy it because it's Rachel Harrison and I've enjoyed her other work so much that I have to. She's an auto-buy author for me. So, I actually don't know what this one's about, so I'll be reading it for the first time with you all. And it's about the main character, Rory, who is moving back to her hometown, but there are bad memories there. Her twin sister, Scarlett, is pregnant. Whenever I hear the name Scarlett, I think of my dog because her name is Scarlett, but we don't call her Scarlett, we call her Letty. So it kind of weirds me out when I read it, but her twin sister Scarlett is pregnant, estranged from the baby's father, and needs support, so Rory is returning, obviously to help her sister out. Makes sense. After a night out at a bar where she runs into an old almost flame, she hits a large animal with her car, and when she gets out to investigate, she is attacked. Oh, she survives, but she begins to look and feel different. She's unnaturally strong with an aversion to silver, and suddenly the moon has her in its thrall. She's changing into someone else, something else, maybe even a monster. But does that mean she's putting those close to her in danger, or is embracing the wildness inside her the key to acceptance? So this is a dark comedic love story. Interesting. It sounds like it's going to be along the same lines as Cackle for me. It says it's horror, but it's going to be a little bit more, maybe more lighthearted like Cackle is. It sounds a little bit more creepy maybe. I'm not sure. It's going to be a werewolf story. Obviously, I think we all knew that from the silver and the moon, which I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a big werewolf person either. It's like the same thing with vampires to me. They're not very exciting. But if anyone can get me excited about a werewolf book, it'll be Rachel Harrison. I can't wait to see what the cover looks like. I'm dying to see what the cover looks like. I think it'll be absolutely beautiful. But I'll just have to wait until then, unfortunately, because I can't see the cover yet because it's not available. I'll be patiently, or impatiently waiting for the cover reveal because I'm very excited. So next up we have The Witch in the Well by Camilla Bruce. This is coming out October 4th, and honestly the cover is absolutely beautiful. I'm obsessed. I need it. It's gorgeous. Honestly, don't even care what it's about. I mean, I know what it's about and it does sound good, but the cover absolutely will, it would be a book that I would buy solely for the cover. And this is actually a Norwegian thriller, which I am very, very excited about. So this says, centuries ago, beautiful young Elspeth Clark was accused of witchcraft after several children disappeared. Her acquittal did nothing to stop her fellow townsfolk from drowning her in the well where the missing children were last seen. Author and social media influencer Elena returns to the summer paradise of her youth to get her family's manor house ready to sell. She starts feeling connected and inspired by Elspeth's spirit, and her ex-childhood friend Kathy is actually researching and writing about her for years. So that's gonna be like a competition between old friends, I guess. The story soon turns both women's worlds into something more haunted and dangerous than they could have imagined. That sounds very exciting. I like witchy stories. That's very much something that I've been interested in over the last like 6 months. I think this one sounds very cool. Again, the cover, it just drew me in. I like the idea of it. I think it sounds very interesting, and it sounds like something that would be up my alley. So I'm very, very, very excited for this one. Next and last, this is the last book I'm going to talk about, is These Fleeting Shadows by Kate Alice Marshall. This cover is gorgeous. These blues, purples, like, oof, gosh, it looks, I don't know, it looks yummy. I know that sounds very weird, but it looks absolutely delightful. It's very pleasant on my eyeballs. Like when I look at it, my eyeballs feel very pleasantly about it. I know that sounds weird. Anyways, it's coming out August 9th and I'm very excited about it. Again, I just think it looks beautiful. It says it's The Haunting of Hill House meets Knives Out, which I've not seen Knives Out, but I do know about The Haunting of Hill House, obviously. Not my favorite, but I'll let it slide. This says, Helen doesn't know why she and her mother left their ancestral home at Harrow Stone Hall called Harrow, or why they haven't spoken to their extended family since. So when her grandfather dies, she's shocked to learn that he has left everything, the house, the grounds, and the money, to her. The inheritance comes with one condition. She must stay on the grounds of Harrow for 1 full year or she will be left with nothing. That honestly doesn't sound that bad, I know. I mean, I understand that there's probably gonna be like obviously more there, but like to me, I would do it. I mean, I would do it for sure. I don't know what that says about me. So it says that for as long as Helen can remember, Harrow has haunted her dreams. And now those dreams have become a waking nightmare. Helen knows that if she's going to survive the year, she needs to uncover the secrets of Harrow. Why is the house built like a labyrinth? What is digging the holes that appear in the woods each night? And why does the house itself seem to be making her sick? With each twisted revelation, Helen questions what she knows about Harrow, her family, and even herself. She no longer wonders if she wants to leave, but if she can. I love family secrets. I love a spooky house, spooky family secrets, spooky house. I think this sounds fun. Again, the cover, I'll buy it just for the cover. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna buy it for the cover. I know I shouldn't. It sounds great. It sounds awesome. It definitely sounds like something I would love to read, but the cover absolutely makes me want to, read it. This is a young adult, in case you didn't know. I'm pretty sure Kate Alice Marshall writes YA most of the time or all the time. I'm not really sure. I've never read anything by this author, but I'm pretty sure YA is their genre of choice. So I'm very excited about it. I think it sounds very good. It sounds like something I would personally enjoy. All right, friends, those are 12 new releases that I am anticipating. I'm hoping to make another one of these videos closer to October where I do a collection of like October and like Halloween-y kind of reads. So let me know if you want to see a more like October Halloween video like this that's centered around those kinds of releases. There might be repeats. I might include some of these because some of these are in October. So, you know, I might have repeats in there, but if you're okay with that, then I would definitely want to do an October releases kind of video about like spooky Halloween October books. So let me know in the comments if you would like to see a video like that. Not anytime soon. Obviously, I'm going to give it a little bit of time, get it closer to October. Maybe end of August, beginning of September, I would do that video. So let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if any of these are piquing your interest, if you've had any of these on your TBR, if I introduced you to any of them. Yeah, let me know which one you are the most excited for, or which ones, plural, because I know I'm excited for all of these. So I can't just pick one. I think they all sound really good. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you're excited for any of these, or if you have another release that I haven't talked about yet. Feel free to leave that in the comments down below. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Please give me a thumbs up if you did. That lets me know that you like these videos. That way I can keep doing them for you. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We can become friends, talk about books, movies, manga, thrillers, horror, romance, spooky things. And with that being said, I hope you are having a great day, night, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!